What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rob Ricks. Happy Easter, motherfuckers! Gobble, 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 gobble! Why did I do turkey noises? I don't know. It just felt appropriate at the time. And now I'm realizing that that was actually very inappropriate. It's not even a turkey day. It should be more... Actually, you know what? I reworked. We didn't really trip. I had a sandwich. The kids had a sandwich, leftovers, stuff like that. We didn't really trip too much. For me, it's like Easter. I have mixed feelings on Easter, just because I am intimately involved with the goddess Ishtar, and know all about the festivals and stuff that she is part of. So gobble 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 gobble. I think I was secretly wishing it was fucking Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is when we really fucking feast. And I think Irene had a cup of noodles, or I'm sorry, ramen. She had ramen. And some leftovers, like some pancit and some of our barbecue chicken we had the other day, which was really good. That part's really good. The ramen part's kind of like, whatever. She had to work all day. Like, she just got home probably about 40 minutes ago. See, she's sitting out there just kind of watching on her dealio. But yeah, Easter is not a big deal. Used to be a big deal for the kids, just because, the kids used to love doing the Easter egg hunts and stuff like that. And I used to always have a problem with that because, you have one group of people say Easter is for the resurrection of Christ, and then you have other people that see it for the commercial venue that it has become, because there's no rabbits and eggs associated with Jesus Christ. So I always get kind of irked about it. Same as I do. I mean, I get Grinch-like, because I'm also kind of like that in regards to Christmas as well. Just because I just happen to know entirely too much shit about esoteric occult and things like that. So it's like Ishtar. Yeah, Ishtar, goddess of fertility, war, things like that. It's like, Incidentally, she's oh, I can't even say who that is. Anyway, so that's that. Yeah, Brian, sorry you missed last night. Last night was one of those ones. We were kind of doing on the tail end of the regular Angry Jackalope show, just because Irene was here and she likes to be part of it, and she by accident pretty much proceeded to derail the show last night, which was filled with a whole lot of hijinks. It was pretty funny. It was pretty good, actually. I went back and was watching it going, oh, there was a lot of plotting some of you folks were doing to try to derail my ass. It was pretty funny. So anyway, let's see who we got. We got Vixen, we got Paula, we got Bronx, we got Tammy, we got Brian, we got Wifey Wife, we got Garen, and exactly, rabbits and eggs. It actually goes further back even from the Vikings. You can go back to Sumerian times. So, and then we've got the yakety yak, yeah. So, let us see what kind of hijinks we can get into this evening, shall we? I'm actually really surprised as many of you guys were able to jump on the show as you are, because I know some of you probably have family over and things like that. Soundboard, no, I don't see any soundboards. Hear any soundboards? So I think we might be safe. I think we might be safe. I don't know. We'll see. She's here, and she does have her iPad, so it could suddenly invade the quietness. We might hear, and I might go, I don't know. We'll see. All right. So if you guys want to go ahead and start throwing out some words, we'll figure out what we're going to base today's story off of. So if you guys want to go ahead, start throwing out some stuff. Watcher and Amazarak, huh? I'm going to make those two separate things. Torture room. Oh, thinking you're having one of those days, Vixen. You want to see the pain. Fairies and Unicorns. Fairies and Unicorns. Oof, rusty nails. Jedi Knight. Okay. And Resurrection. Oh, nice. Okay. Ham and pineapple with Soba Noodles. Is that your thing, or is that you telling me what you had to eat tonight? Sciatica. Windy fart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can go with windy fart. Did I miss anything? Alright, hang on a second. Let me double check something over on this side here. I just want to double check something. Huh. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay. All right, so I got 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They are the Watcher, Amazarak, Torture Room, Fairies and Unicorns, Rusty Nails, Jedi Knight, Resurrection, Ham and Pineapple with Soba Noodles, Sciatica, and Windy Fart. No, don't do Windy Fart. Well, I need another word then. You better give me another word then. You don't want Windy Fart, babe. You got to give me a different word. I'll take that out so you can give me a different word. Windy Fart. Torture Room, Watcher, Amazarak. And this week, Ultra Saber Signal Ellie should be arriving. Woohoo, nice. Fairies Unicorns. Torture Room. Alright, so while I'm waiting for her to throw a word, I'm going to go ahead and start figuring out something here. Okay. I have an idea, I think. And then Easter. Okay. I think that is very appropriate for this story anyway. Oh, yeah. I got a good idea here. Okay. All right. So the words are going to be the Watcher, Amazarak, Torture Room, Fairies and Unicorns, Rusty Nails, Jedi Knight, Resurrection, Ham and Pineapple with Soba Noodles, Sciatica, and Easter. Okay, those are going to be the words. I just have to figure one piece out here. I got it. Okay. All right. Where can I put this? Let me scoot my coffee like this. Okay. All right. So here we go. William sat and leaned in his chair and was very grumpy. You see, he hated holidays. Not any holidays. Not a specific holiday. He hated all holidays. He couldn't understand why people would make all the fuss and muss about Easter, Christmas, and his all-time favorite hatred, Halloween. He shrugged. What the hell? Why, people? Why? Can't you see? It's all commercials. They just want your money. He leaned to his left a little bit and rubbed his thigh, which hurt and ached deeply. He had really bad sciatica, and his legs would just flare up from time to time. He knew it was mostly due to his weight, but he didn't care. He'd eat his food, his favorite foods, and he wouldn't care what people said. Currently, he was eating some ham and pineapple with soba noodles, which his cousin had told him was very delicious, and he started to eat it, and he slurped at it, and he settled down and was actually content with his noodles when suddenly he heard a knock on the door. Go away! I'm not interested in what you're selling. He figured it had to be somebody selling something, because he had no friends. He had no family. He was pretty much alone. I said go away. I'm not buying what you're selling. Beat it. He got up, walked to the door, flung it open. A tall man stood there, dressed neatly, very clean. Suit was pressed, super pleats, super nice. He had a black suit, gray pins, and a purple tie. Purple tie took him aback. It was garish and very loud. Yeah? What can I do for you? It's not what you can do for me. It's what I can do for you. Look, I already said I'm not buying, okay? So beat it. He slammed the door in the stranger's face, walked a few feet, sat back down. That was very rude. He jumped, spilled his soba noodles on the floor. The man was standing next to him. How did you get in here? Doesn't matter. May I have a seat? Look, man, I'm gonna call the police. I don't have any money. I don't have anything really. You know, just take whatever you want, man. It's cool, okay? Look, if I wanted to hurt you, I would have hurt you. I just want to talk with you for a little bit. You do know what today is? Yes, it's Sunday. So what? No, it's a holiday. Oh, yeah, Easter. Yeah, Easter. It's Easter. Yeah, you're right. It's Easter. Look, you want some eggs or something? I mean, what's the deal here? I don't understand what's going on. Relax. He sat down. He was all nervous. He was freaking out. His heart was racing. He started to get a little bit dizzy, and and he saw Sparkles. The man across from him shook his head, motioned his hands. William couldn't help but think, man, is this guy like some kind of a Jedi Knight or something? I mean, what's he doing? It's like I suddenly feel much calmer and relaxed. Is he doing one of those little Jedi mind tricks? It's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm calming your heart down. Otherwise, you probably have a heart attack and die, especially since no one's going to come and help you. That hit hard. That hurt. All right, fine. What do you want, man? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Amazarak. Uh, Ama, Ama, Amazarak. Amazarak. Yes. What kind of name is that? That's weird. I suppose for you it would be weird, but it is my name nonetheless. I am here to talk with you. Okay, I'm listening, ama- ama- amazing man. Amazarak shrugged. He felt anger welling in him, but he understood. The man before him had a purpose, had a role to play. You do understand, despite the Easter eggs and the rabbits and everything else, that this holiday is associated with a different figure. Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you one of those Bible thumpers? Amazarak looked at him. His eyes flared. The room darkened. You dare speak to me in such ways? William sat back, shrunk in his chair. Sorry. You think this day is a festive, fun-filled day filled with fairies and unicorns and rabbits and eggs and all these other mystical... Ugh, no. There is another reason for this day. He motioned in front of him. Two large nails hovered in the air. They were red, rusted, old. The man looked at the rusty nails. Well, what are the... Are you... Are those... Yes. Are you serious? Yes. Oh, okay. Uh, how... How... I and my brothers were there during the resurrection. We actually witnessed this. You mean it's real? Yes. It's real? I already answered that question. How could you have possibly? Are you an angel? No. The man looked sad. His eyes were filled with a sadness, a deep, brooding sadness that William could associate with. William could feel the pain. He understood it. Man, I'm I'm sorry, but you were an angel. Yes, I was a watcher. I was very, very good at my job, but I made a mistake. I came down and taught you fools things I should have never taught you. You taught what? I don't understand. Mazarak nodded. Of course you don't. You've forgotten everything. What are you talking about? Lean forward. I wish to show you something. He closed his eyes and leaned forward. Mazarak put a gentle finger on his forehead. There was a brilliant flash. Suddenly he found himself in a room. He was standing in front of a table. A man was stretched out in front of him. His feet were bloody and skin was cut off, and he found himself confused. He wasn't horrified. He wasn't repulsed. He wasn't even surprised. He looked again. He looked in his hands. He held knives. He looked around and realized he was sitting inside of a torture room. There were many instruments of destruction, things to destroy flesh, to make people convert. Then realization came to him. He was helping convert the heathens, the wickeds, to the correct faith. He felt ashamed, but he didn't understand why. He thought, this is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. Then he flashed and he was back in his apartment, pudgy, happy, relieved that he was back in the right time. He looked at his hands, expecting to see blades there. He saw none. I don't understand. You used to be a converter. You used to help people convert. But that was wrong. Yes, it was wrong. But you were doing what you were told. I don't understand. You see, my kind taught your kind several things, but in doing so, we broke several rules that we weren't supposed to break. Unfortunately, those rules had consequences, and as such, it broke you. Not you specifically, but the humans. And as such, we have always felt guilty and bad about that, my brothers and I. But for a long time, we were impotent, unable to rectify the things that we had done. But now we are going, little by little, to try to fix the wrongs in this world. So what does it have to do with me? Well, you are a symptom of all of the travesties and the wrongs of the world. And it is my hope that I can help you to do the one thing that you will never do on your own. What's that? Forgive yourself. Why? Because, as I said, the things you did in your previous lives were things that people told you to do. People of authority, dark, evil people. You did not take joy in the things you did, but you carried those with you into this life. And as such, you are not truly living. It is my intent, my goal, to help you fix that. At that, he felt overwhelmed with emotion. He felt a deep sadness and a weight that he had carried his entire life and could not understand why he had such dark cloud hanging over him. The words of Amazarak struck deep in his heart, in his soul, and he knew the man spoke the truth. What do I do? Ask for forgiveness. I don't know how. It's easy. You just close your eyes. Picture the things that you think you're guilty of, and then apologize. To who? Yourself. What? What? Try it. He felt silly, but with everything that he was seeing, how could he not take the man seriously? So he closed his eyes, he coupled his hands together, and he said, I'm sorry. And Amazarak asked him, for what? And then images, horrible, horrible images flashed in his mind. Thousands upon thousands of people he had tortured and tormented in the name of a religion that promised love and happiness and hope. And he realized he had been an instrument of great evil, done in God's name. I'm sorry for all of that. And do you forgive yourself? He struggled. It was a difficult thing. But then he finally said, yes, I do. And it was as if 1,000 pounds came off of his shoulders, his neck, and his back. He suddenly was able to sit straighter in his chair, and he felt his spine popping. And then he looked up. Now he wasn't staring up at the man. He was staring just under the man's eyes. He says, William, stand. William stood. How do you feel? I feel better. How does your legs feel? What? Yeah, it doesn't hurt. But why me? Why anyone? Everyone deserves a second chance. Everyone deserves to be forgiven, especially for actions they did in a different life. Wouldn't you agree? Yes. How do you feel about today now? About Easter? Yes. It's symbolic, is it not? I'm not sure I follow. Would you say you feel as if your soul has been resurrected? Yes, I do. Good. Now your job is to go find others and help them the way that I helped you. How? You did things that made me believe. I'm nothing. He goes, really? You're nothing? I find that hard to believe. You do realize we watched you humans for a long, long time. And it was because of the amazing things that we saw you humans do. We grew envious. the beautiful women, the miracles that you are able to achieve, but you are unaware that you can do it. You have something we do not have. What? You have a soul. A soul, yes. But you have magic. At that, Amazarak laughed. I taught many magic. And you know how to do magic. You have just forgotten. And when you help the first person, you will understand that magic again. William closed his eyes, swallowed, fought the tears, the emotion that welled within him. He opened his eyes again, and the tall man was gone. William looked around, and he wondered, was it all a dream? Suddenly he felt Easter had a new significance for him, and he felt it was indeed a special day after all. Okay, that's going to be the end of that story. And I think this one was a little bit more wholesome, a little nicer. This one had some of my own internal strugglings with, and some of my own personal demons, if you will. But I think overall, as I told that story, I was getting goosebumps. And I think I think the overall message is still resounding. I don't think we need a specific day for us to affect change in our own lives and make the world a better place. But I do think that a lot of us harbor bad feelings and things of guilt that kind of weigh us down and does affect and manifest in our physical bodies. So if you feel really bad about something and you carry it, it can make you sick. And so what I would welcome you folks to do on any day, not just on Easter, but on any given day, kind of take inventory of the things that you feel really guilty about, really bad about. Take a look at it, acknowledge it for what it was. It was an event, something that happened. You can't go back. You can't change it. You can apologize to yourself, feel good about yourself, and say, you know what? I did the best that I could with what I had. I learned a lesson from it, and I'm going to go forward and make the efforts to better myself. And I think, you're not going to always bat 1,000. You're not going to always knock it out of the park. You're not going to always be able to achieve the impossible, but every step that you take towards that makes the impossible more probable, right? Tammy, you made me take 10 random words and make an awesome story out of them. Yeah, this was a good one. This one I felt this one pretty good. I was really hoping it wouldn't have any really crazy words. So thank you guys for allowing me to tell a really interesting story, and even taking pop cultural things like Jedi Knight. I think that fell into the story nicely. And even things like ham and pineapple with soba noodles. It's like it made the story more universal. I purposely made sure I didn't say any ethnicities. I didn't say what kind of people they were or anything else, just to make this a more general story to resonate with a person who listens to it, because I think all of us can share in what William, because even his names is William Jones III. I couldn't pick a more benign, name, Bill Jones, right? So this is one of those type of, you could almost say it's like a modern day parable, right? It's like you find lessons and meaning in the weirdest of places. And for somebody who comes and hears this story later on, it's going to affect them. It's going to affect them pretty profoundly. And for other people, they'll say that was a really cute story. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's definite influences from a lot of different things, like the three knocks, again, there was 3 times that he went through. And the funny thing is, Amazarak the Watcher, he chose to fall from heaven in the book of Enoch, and he led a bunch of his brothers down, and they broke some major fucking rules, and they got foobarred. God was not very happy with the fact that they came and taught man some crazy things. Yes, it is amazing how the mind and body is connected. When I had that problem before where I was saying, oh, my squiggly spooch was hurting, they were going to take out my gallbladder. And then a friend of mine said, no, don't do that, because once you take that gallbladder out, you're not going to be the same. And I went and got seen by a chiropractor, and the chiropractor was telling me, sometimes you can harbor bad feelings, stress, things of that nature, and it will manifest as an actual ailment. It'll affect your body. And after seeing him and thinking about that, and actually letting certain things go, it's amazing how many negative bad things we hold on to, like almost like pack rats of negativity. Okay, and like we pile them on, and then we carry it and we look at it, and we just fixate on it, and instead of just looking at it and realizing it's a really nasty thing and just letting it go, we keep it. And so as you're walking around with this stuff, it gets heavier and heavier, and then it starts to affect things, and then you just feel really yucky. You know what I mean? Oh, I bet, Paula, sciatica is a really painful thing. Back. It's funny. I got a big gut, and so every pound of fat you have in your gut puts 20 pounds of pressure on your spine. And it's amazing why there's so many people with bad backs and things of that nature. But it's difficult. It's difficult for us to live healthy lives. It's difficult for us to do this. And sometimes I wonder if we're not subconsciously just punishing ourselves. Doing kind of like a very prolonged, slow form of suicide, because we all kind of know in our hearts the stuff that we eat, it's not really good for us, but tastes good and it's cheap. And so that's when you see, some of the insidious stuff that happens. But let's see here. Go ahead and put that. Um, yeah, the legs, that shoots down that leg. So, like I got two blown discs in my back. So my right thigh normally just feels kind of like um, a sunburn with a cat scratching it. But it's so constant, I can pretty much focus past it. And also the medicine that I'm on, the gabapentin, actually really helps with that. But now I have like a really deep numbness on the top layers of my skin. But if I press down on it, it hurts. So it's kind of funny. But it's almost like Jesus, when he's, since we're talking Easter stuff, and we'll go with the Christian version of this. When Jesus is walking with a cross, he's got this huge wooden beast that he has to carry. And imagine just the thought process of, I'm carrying the instrument of my own suffering and death, right? So here he is. He's not like he can drag it like this. He's actually got it on his back and he's carrying it, right? So you got all this weight just weighing him down. And then on top of that, he's got these insults and injuries and physical, pain and torment just lashing at him from all sides. And you could almost draw that analogy to life. Like, we all have this cross we're bearing, whatever it may be. We all have our own. And that's why I say everybody has their cross to bear. So you're sitting there and you're walking, and you're thinking, ultimately, this cross we're carrying, this is going to be the instrument of my demise. And when you stop and take that in consideration, that's horrible, right? We're carrying the thing that ultimately is going to kill us, right? But he's doing it. You know what I mean? So he's just carrying it. And then they put him on, they put him up, and, he's just suffering. He's just suffering. But I saw a thing earlier that I thought was actually pretty. Not, that's not right. It was pretty. It was a beautiful sentiment, and it was a friend of mine who's super religious. Like, and sometimes I have issues with people that are super religious, because I believe people should find their faith. I don't believe that people should push their faith on anybody. But it was interesting because the little meme said, Um, it wasn't nails that held Jesus on the cross. And I thought that's kind of an interesting statement because as a supernatural entity, because he was able to perform miracles, if he was the living flesh and bones incarnation of the Heavenly Father, as part of the Holy Trinity, if they say that, then he could have at any point gotten himself off that cross. He could have got off of it. He could have just said, you know what? What if, let's go Jedi, he decided to go Sith, right? And say, fuck this. And he took his power and just, he would have had tons and tons of people that said, ooh, I'm going to follow that because, the dark side's got cookies, right? But he suffered, he took the pain, and then he died so that we weren't born anymore with the original sin. So he sacrificed to save us, as the story goes. And so from a gesture of selflessness, of sacrifice, you can't beat that. That's amazing to be able to walk with the cross, to carry your own cross, to bear witness to the atrocities that man is able to do. And yet, even though they're doing this to him, he still allows himself to die for them, for us, right? And so, that right there is actually pretty amazing. And so sometimes when I'm feeling really bad or I'm hurting, I think about not only that story, but I think about examples I've seen other people in my life deal with certain things and watch them just soldier through with a smile on their face, and that's not an easy thing. I think a lot of us that are in here understand pain, understand sacrifice, understand the difficulties of trying to walk a righteous path, and it's not an easy thing. But regardless of any religious thing, regardless of any dogma that's out there, me personally, if I see another man, another woman, and they are walking that righteous path and they are carrying their cross and they wear that shit like a badge of honor and they are trying to improve their standings every single day, to me, I give that respect. I give that the utmost respect because as a person who deals with a boatload of pain and sees a lot of the crap that we all have to go through, when I see somebody soldiering through, I just want to salute them. I just want to say, you keep going. You're doing good. And even if you go through your entire life and you die and there is nothing after, is really irrelevant because you've already, through your actions, have touched other people. Your actions, your attitude, your unshakable will and determination affects other people. And that's really what's important to help elevate mankind, womankind, mankind, humankind, to where we need to be. Because I do believe that angels fell. They came to be with us. And I believe they jump-started things, whether you want to say it's the alien conspiracy with genetic manipulation or whatever. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the end result is the exact same thing. We were cheated and jump-started to a point where we weren't mentally prepared to be where we're at now. So since we are all flawed and we're all trying to make ourselves right, that action in of itself just shows we're far above any monkey, animal, or anything else out there because we have the ability to rationally think and say, what makes me wrong and how can I fix myself? And also the act of forgiving yourself, the understanding that we have empathy and we feel bad and we do these things, but then we can say, hey, I'm beating myself up. I really shouldn't have. I learned the lesson. I won't do it again. And my goal going forward is to make things better for other people. Really, that's it. So, all right, let's see what we got here in the notes. Let's see. Thank you, Paula, for the beautiful story part. Um, Guilt can make you physically sick. Let's see. Which side I can feel that fast? Bronx, thank you. Back's hurting pretty bad. Yeah, mine goes through phases. Lately, though, I've been really good lately. Like, amazingly good. Like, I was kind of tripping on that the other day. um my problem right now is not necessarily the mountain of pain. It's just now my mobility is like I've been carrying the pain for so long and walking a certain way for so long that now I think it's like the back can't, it doesn't have the flexibility to bend. Even the neck, like I can't bring my head back any further than this, which is really problematic when you're swimming. You know what I mean? um but yeah, it's like pain for me has been getting better, if anything, because I've been tracking it. But I invite you guys to do this too. Try this out. You got nothing really to lose. I've been doing this mantra every day. I do it at least 7 times. I say it at least 7 times every day. I write something down where I say, I am great. I am awesome. I can do anything. And it sounds really silly when you're saying it, but I say that. And then the other flip end of it is, sometimes I do my prayers to my Heavenly Father, and I will say things like, Heavenly Father, um, I hurt really bad, and I'm really tired of hurting. Can you, help help me out? And my goal is to help as many people as possible. And I know if I'm not in such a bad mood from pain and everything, I'll be that much more effective. So, then I sometimes I'll get a little get up, like help a brother out. You know what I mean? And I joke, but that's because Heavenly Father knows me. It's like I try to tell my friends, like I'll curse, I'll say things in my prayers, and they're like, dude, you you really talk to him like that? I'm like, why would I not? That would be me being fake. I want to be the authentic me. This is me talking to him. And I don't ever say goodbye, and I don't say amen. I keep my prayers open. It's almost like I don't even say over and out or anything like that. If anything, I say I'll talk to you again in a little bit, and I try to keep that line open, to allow the messages to flow through, and for me to flow out as well, because you know I'm not a biblical person. I can't cite passages or anything else, but I do believe there is something in the Bible that says prayers should never end. And that line right there kind of stuck with me. And so whenever I do it, it's almost like, um, I imagine I have my father sitting right next to me all the time, like all the time. And it's like, as a thought hits me, I say, hey, what do you think about this? Like, how cool would that be, right? Like, hey, what do you think about this? And I don't get answers in a literal sense. I don't get like, well, I think you should do blah 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 blah. I just go, what do you think? And I leave it, and then something will happen that will kind of guide me, and I note it, and I'm like, okay, so that's what I should be doing. And a lot of times you just have to be open, and again, that forgiveness of the self. For me, I think that's the most profound thing that I've done in the last 2 years. Now, you guys recall, I used to have tons of injuries. For example, my hands. I couldn't use a chopstick. My wife will tell you. We'd be eating out, and I'd be using chopsticks. I'd have 2 minutes in, and then I'm like, oh, man, my hands hurt so bad. Like, this part would hurt. All back here would hurt. Like, I just couldn't use chopsticks. I can now. I don't even think about it, right? And part of it also is what we say about ourselves, you know? Yak, that almond raw part, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I have somebody who's really well versed in the Bible who said it's actually a Jewish derivative thing or something like that. But anyway, it doesn't really matter, because you notice I don't call Heavenly Father God. I don't call Heavenly Father Lord or any of that stuff. I call Heavenly Father, even though that's more verbose and it takes a lot longer to say. Whenever I refer to my Heavenly Father, it's always Heavenly Father. And that's just because it's a respect thing. That's what I do. And also, I don't want to run a risk that I might inadvertently be praying to something I'm not supposed to be praying to, right? Um, Gods could be aliens, but my question then is, well, who created them? So something always has a genesis point. There's something that has created, and then something that has created everything else. If you look at the universe and you look at our planet specifically, there's a lot there that has like a divine design to it. And so, if you don't believe in it, you don't believe in it. I don't really care. I mean, that's on you. That's the beautiful thing about us being us, is we have what? We have choice. Okay. I'd rather have a choice and stumble in the darkness to find my way than have somebody dictate to me what is right and what is wrong, and that this is the only path you will walk. And so that, to me, I think is the amazing part of everything. So see here. Carry a lot of stress in our backs. Let's see here. Been using DMSO. It keep popping my back when it will pop. I've had pain in my leg since Monday. Went to the ER Tuesday. Gave me muscle relaxer, but it ain't doing shit. Yeah. For sciatica, that's a nerve causing the muscles and everything in the things to spasm and ultimately cramp. The muscle relaxers should help with that, because what it's going to do is going to knock those muscles down a couple of notches to mitigate some of that spasming. But, yeah, like she said, it used to work neuro, and you can't really do much chronic pain. Yeah, because a lot of times, even with the pain meds, all they're doing is they're making you stoned. You can't focus on the pain. The pain will continue. But muscle relaxers, all they do is they relax those muscles. Like when I don't take the muscle relaxers for that reason alone. Like, I mentally tough through the constant pain, because for me, since it's a constant, I can actually focus on that and knock that out. For me, the random stabs, those are really difficult. And I would imagine sciatica is probably a little bit more like that. Like, you'll have a movement, you'll do something, it'll cause that nerve to flare up, and then boom, you get this really rapid, nasty to it, and it makes it a little bit difficult. I couldn't handle the muscle relaxers, because suddenly the legs would feel good, and then as soon as that would wear off, boom, it'd come back and it'd be hitting hard again, and I'd have to refocus. So I just said, forget it. I don't even take muscle relaxers. I can't do them. I can't do them all. Let's see here. I figure on carrying what we eventually will kill us is suffering from the pain and the add negativity we hold on to. Just recently learned to let go of the bad shit and work in progress. It's hard. It's hard. We're so programmed to fixate on that negative stuff. Like, that's what we hold on to. But the real trick in feeling better is to understand this is the universal truth for me. I'm not sure if this will help you or not, but for me, is understanding that I have limitations. Like, I want to be Superman. Like, I want to help the world. I want to do everything for everybody. But understand, that's impossible. So now you almost have to triage. You almost have to say, well, what is worth my time? What can I fix and what can't I fix? And again, there's parables for that, right? Give me the wisdom, the knowledge, and do this, and the wisdom to know the difference, blah, blah, blah. That's the funny thing about the Bible, is there's lessons, there's little nuggets of gold in there, regardless of your religious belief. Just as a literate person reading things and finding universal truths and things to help you think. Sometimes reading the Bible, the Quran, to Buddhism, the I Ching, all these different things. There's always going to be something in the things that you read that will help resonate with your mind to help you figure out your moral compass, your true north. And then understanding you thought you were going north, but you're going east at Albuquerque, and you made that wrong turn. Well, don't beat yourself up. Course correct. Say, shit, I made a mistake. We all do. Course correct, and then that's it. Let it go. We hold on to too much crap, and that just messes you up. Let's see. Yeah, we are our worst enemy. I am my worst enemy for sure. Exactly. We are. There is an expression I used to have up on the walls like, we block the sunshine of our greatness with our own shadows, right? So, like, we got this brilliant light, but we are fixating on the shadows, not realizing, wait, what's generating the shadow? It's the greatness of us, right? And I'm serious about the whole concept of the soul. The soul is just vitally important, and people do not realize that is a thing that makes human beings very special. There is something. And for people to say there is no soul, I'm like, you have not looked at enough dead bodies, my friend. When you look at a lot of dead bodies, what's the first thought that hits your mind when you see a dead body? For me, first time I saw something that was dead, I was like, it looks fake. But why? Because the life force or the soul, the energy of the body is gone. So anyway, that's my own. Paula says, I'm only 50 and I feel like 80. Hey, welcome to the club. I'm going to be 40, 48? No. Yeah, 48. I'll be 48, I think, this year, and I feel like I'm 248. So, oh yeah, mind over matter is what I do. Helps most of the time. You really see that is the amazing part. This right here, with effort and practice, the mind is amazing. The things that it can help you do. I'm telling you, man, I've been doing this mantra now, the mantra, the journaling and stuff like that. I've been doing it now for about 3 weeks. And I've been tracking how I've been feeling, what my moods have been, and everything else. So I have data. I have data to substantiate these claims. I started out in the beginning, I had energy level about 2. I wasn't saying mantras like, I am great, I am awesome, I can do anything. Okay? And I was already performing above average, not to sound arrogant or anything else. This is just an astute observation that I do things that the average person doesn't do. But even then, I was running ragged. But after 3 weeks here now of me trying this and, analyzing my days and saying, where am I messing up? And, oh, okay, so that's where I'm messing up. Okay, and I start beating myself up. It's like, let it go. You're course correcting. You made a mistake, you're fixing it. You made a mistake, you're fixing it. And I make an effort, even in my day-to-day activities with my kids and my wife, I try to course correct. Like, you know what? Looks like my wife's having a bad day. Let me let her know I really, really love her. Let her know I appreciate her. There were many years where I didn't do that. That simple thing. I did not let her know that I appreciated her. Right? But now, whenever I get a chance and I'm sitting there thinking about it, I let her know. Because it's just like I let you guys know that I appreciate you guys. We're all in this together and we all are trying to grow, but you have to start conditioning your mind and stuff to say, one, I am worthy to be here. I have a purpose. What that purpose is none of my business. It will be revealed to me at some point. But above and beyond that, I'm worth it. I am worth everything that I'm entitled, right? Anything that I work for, anything that I am putting effort in, I deserve it. A lot of us don't think we're worth shit. And if you don't think you're worth shit, you won't be shit. You'll be miserable because you yourself are pushing yourself into the mud. So you need to, instead of pushing yourself in the mud, give yourself a hand to pull out of the mud and then start little bits, little pieces, guys. Don't tackle big things. Little bit, little bit, little bit, and really love yourself. Really be nice to yourself and say, you know what? This is what I think is going to be good for you. This is what I think is going to help us. And then just work through it little bit by little bit. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. One of the things that helps overall health are iron balls. I think, are you talking about those little chime things? Let's see, Paula, yoga stretching moves to help with sciatica. Mine flares up sometimes too, yeah. Don't get me wrong, get my fair share of Tylenol and leave every day. I'm trying to get her to try inversion. Yeah, I've done inversions before. Sometimes it feels pretty good on my back. I don't know if that would necessarily help on that. Turmeric's great for yep. There's a few natural things that are really good for inflammation. That's crazy. Um, Pain inhibitors are worse. Well, I used to not want to take any kind of pain inhibitors or anything like that, but my mom pointed out a very, very interesting fact that might help you reconsider that to a point. Your brain and your pain receptors are like muscles, right? And the more you do something with your muscles and stuff like that, the better they are with doing what they do. So you have these receptors in your brain, pain receptors, and as the pain hits it, receptor hits it, boom, boom. They get really, 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 really good at handling those signals to the point where your pain becomes very, very acute. If you can't interrupt those signals on a regular basis to stop that from getting super good, then when you do try to use the pain meds, good fucking luck. It's too late, And this is from a woman who has had more pain in her life than anybody can, ever, 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 ever talk about. Unless you lose bowel or bladder control, ER cannot do anything for back pain. Yeah, if you get the type of pain where you actually lose control of your bodily functions, that's a bad day. Or for men, if you get a back injury and suddenly you start popping erections uncontrollably, again, that is a serious neurological injury, and you need that checked out. But simple back pain and stuff like that. The rule of thumb for like back stuff is if it hurts at the back level, then it's most likely muscle or something else. If you hurt your back and you're feeling pain on your extremities, either say you got hurt in your neck area and suddenly you're feeling acute pain in your arms, your fingers, your elbows, and stuff like that you've never had before, that could be a symptom of your neck. If you go down lower in your back and you feel pain just tearing up your legs, yeah, you've really done something. You might have either blown a disc or something like that. And when you do those, understand that's life changing. You want to try everything you can before you do operations. Operations are hit or miss at best. Let's see here, Paula. Speaking of truth, man, I love it. You're welcome, Yak. I always try. Paula, my calves and my knees hurt real bad, and I can't walk sometimes. Garen has to rub them with muscle rub, and sometimes it works, and other times I feel like going back to the ER too. Yeah, the pain stuff is hard. Uh, it's one of those things. Like me, I understand. Like I have like a love hate thing with my pain. Like I accept it as part of my existence, and I work with it, and I understand my limitations, and I try my best not to do things that causes the pain to flare up. But there's a lot of times where there's not much you can do. If like getting out of bed hurts, I have to get out of bed. So, again, Paula, like I've said before, meditation, trying different things. The reason I tell you guys these things is not to get woo woo or anything else. It's to strengthen your mind, because the body responds to the mind. The mind controls the body. And there are some people so powerful with their minds, they can ignore the pain. You know, I can do it to a point, but there's a threshold. There's a serious threshold. So I know from my own personal mindset, you can do it, but again, it always comes back down to the final thing, which is where we're going to summarize this and kind of end with is a belief. If you don't believe something, then it doesn't matter. If somebody says here, this pill is super powerful and it's going to knock your pain out, and you believe it, guess what? It may knock that pain out, and it might have just been a sugar pill, but it is what it is, right? I research all religions to learn to help others and myself. That's good. Paula, you may have to follow up neurologist. I agree with that. And ERs are going to be expensive as hell. If you can get a regular doc, somebody that you can actually build a rapport with, that can actually give you constructive things to work with, that's going to be invaluable beyond belief. Let's see. We can't afford one, Irene, and can't afford insurance. Yeah. Okay. If you can't afford it, then I definitely think some of the things like the stretching and the yoga, take it serious though. It doesn't, if you have somebody helping you, like Irene helps me stretch. And when she helps me stretch, my mobility goes through the roof. Like I am way more mobile. So Garen, you can help her. You know, I'm told you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mr. Morris, what's up? Martin told me he found you. Yes, yes. Hello, I love you too, poopy pants. Um, yeah, exactly. The yoga, the stretching at our age has to be a daily thing. My no matter helps. Don't get me wrong. I still hurt. My legs and arms hurt. Still have neuropathy and don't want to work, but it doesn't make me feel as bad. Yeah, because some things just are what they are. You just have to find a way to live with and work with. Stuff you got, Yak, is a tough one because that is progressively going to get a little bit harder and harder to deal with. But if you can keep your mind right and you stay positive, it makes the overall experience and journey that much more bearable, right? Let's see, Garen, been thinking about getting both of us started on that DDP yoga. You know, Wicked's been doing it and he's loving it. I think it's a good thing. I think that would be really, really good. Just trying to keep my legs straight, and it hurts so bad. It kind of settles when I bend it. You know, sometimes you just have to work it, and to see what it does. If you can't just sit. You have to try things, and then sooner or later you'll figure out what works, what doesn't work for you, because every single person is going to be different. Mr. Morris, always take care of number one. That way, you never have to put up with another others number two. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, number one is super important. You have to. It's almost like when you're on a plane and they say the plane's going down. They put your mask on first before you put other people's mask on. Same deal. Pick ourselves up, wipe the dust off for sure. Yep, sciatica really is bad when I'm not stretching, exercising regularly. Yeah, I remember when she was pregnant. My lord, it was so bad. I felt horrible for her, but then as time went on, she was able to work through it. Let's see, metal balls that you spin together in your hands. Yeah, those are part of acupuncture. So there is something that happens with that rhythmic sound and also the motions and stuff like that. That's actually pretty nice. P90 yoga is great. Yeah, P90X can be difficult for some people, but they do have some modifications as well. Brian might want to record Fish or Die. Looking good so far. I am recording it too. 10-4. Let's see here. A certain amount of pain is good. It lets you know you're still alive. Exactly, right? Pain lets you know you're alive. Only pain I can't deal with, toothache. Tell me about it. I was sitting here with that infection for the longest time. Strong believe we do have the ability to heal ourselves to a point. Yes, to a point. You know, until you get to that point where you're no longer in the realm of normal man, you're only going to heal to a point. See, DDPY is the truth. I've heard nothing but good things about Diamond's stuff, so check that out. Back pain will be such an expensive ER visit. Yeah, yeah. If you can't, if you can't, don't. If you can, don't go to the ER unless you really, really need to. Hey, what's up? What's up, man? Just tuning in. Been a while. Hope all is good with you. Yeah, things are good, man. Things are good. All right, so that's gonna be it, guys. We're past the hour, but I wanted to make sure I hopped on. I know some folks don't dig the holidays. The story was a fun one. Again, if you're religious, great. If you're not religious, that's on you. Whatever has you right. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own things that move them and stuff like that. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys spending time with me. It's always my goal to help out where I can, entertain, even with my stories. I try to have fun with you guys so that we can enjoy each other and have actual relationships where we kind of vibe off of each other and things like that. So I hope you guys have a great, great, great day. And hopefully you guys aren't stressing about tomorrow, going, fuck, I'm going to work tomorrow, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Yeah, Morris, I'm sorry. It started at 7. It's 8:09. I'm already 5 past. If these get too long, people don't watch after and everything else. But that's it. So this story is going to be called Easter Miracle is what this story is going to be called. It's kind of a interesting set of keywords and everything else. And as always, I do appreciate you guys spending time with me. It really, really is the highlight of my week. My Fridays and Saturday, my Saturdays and my Sundays are really, really what I look forward to. All right, guys. Talk to you guys later.